Hey, good morning. Today we're kicking off a new project here in the neighborhood. It's not your typical do-it-yourself project. We've actually had to call in the professionals and get their heavy equipment out here. We are going to be removing 50 of these concrete sound wall panels. Each panel is about 17 feet long and they weigh 5,000 pounds a piece. In total, we're going to be removing 250,000 pounds and recycling that material. The wall is coming out because we have lost several panels down the street. Their foundation has been compromised and has created a safety hazard for people walking along the sidewalk or cars on the roadway, and we needed to address that issue. We're going to replace the wall with an 8-foot redwood fence. It's going to look beautiful, so follow us along as we kick off this project.
The concrete sound wall was originally installed in 1976 in conjunction with the new housing development. 6-foot deep by 12-inch diameter piers were drilled on the property lines and filled with concrete. A half-inch thick steel base plate was embedded into the top of each pier, and the concrete was allowed to set up. Once the concrete cured, the precast panels were lowered onto the footing, and the column was welded to the base plate. Each successive panel was lowered in one by one, welded, and locked together using the slot on the side of the precast column. Over an extended period of time, liquid amber trees that were planted next to the sound wall matured, and their roots began to compromise the integrity of the structure. Multiple sections of the sound wall slowly began to heave upwards and lean significantly. In some of the most severe instances, we measured panels leaning over 10 inches with vertical displacements of 8 inches over their length. It was only a matter of time for the fillet welds on the columns to fail and the panels began to tumble. We were extremely lucky that the 4 panels fell without incident, but it was clear to the homeowners we needed to fix this problem as soon as possible. We contracted with a local demolition company and processed the proper permits with the city to remove all 50 remaining panels and recycle the material. The strategy was to use 2 excavators for the demolition process, one to hold the adjacent panel while the other broke the panel free and hoisted it into the dump truck. A key component to the removal process was the use of a self-gripping scissor clamp that was attached to the larger excavator. It made short work in removing each panel. While removing this panel, it is clear to see how the structural integrity of the sound wall had become compromised. Several large liquid amber trees were just recently removed from the area in which these 2 panels fell. Our contractor, San Jose Demolition, did a tremendous job working in tight, confined spaces, maneuvering the massive concrete panels around trees, bushes, light poles, and utility boxes. They safely managed the constant flow of traffic on the roadway, and they were able to remove all sound wall panels in less than 2 working days. As part of the demolition agreement, the concrete panels were trucked to a local processing facility and broken down into smaller pieces so the structural rebar could be separated and recycled. The smaller concrete pieces are broken down even further using a rock crusher, and the final material will be used as 3/4 inch road base. new fence design uses 4x6 pressure-treated posts every 4 feet and incorporates a 24-inch retaining wall at the base. The top section will use 6-foot 1x8 redwood material in a board-over-board pattern that is structurally supported on the backside with a 2x4 mid-rail to prevent the field boards from buckling over time. Over 225 post holes were dug and a concrete pumper was brought in to fill the footings. A total of 30 yards of concrete were used to set all the posts. It was a huge task to ensure each post was plumb and in line for the entire length of the fence, but these guys knew what they were doing and they nailed it. Once the footings cured, the retaining wall boards were fastened in place and the fence sections began to take shape. We were successful at completing this project because all 13 property owners were cooperative and willing to work together to solve the problem. It also helps to have great contractors. Huge shout out to San Jose Demolition and to P&L Fence Company for helping us tackle this project without incident. If you have any questions, please drop a comment down below, and thanks so much for watching.